Is this thing on? Hey everyone, it's your boy Terry. Just outside here for a few minutes with my puffy face. Um, so I'd say hello. It's been about a week. It's been about a minute, as the kids say. Just thought I'd do a quick update. Yeah, I had a hard day at work yesterday. That's why I look like this. So, work with my boy Bob Dodona. He works for Vacation Time. They make the area specific dining. Was I covering the microphone again? I was working with Bob Dodona yesterday. He works for Vacation Time magazine. We were just out delivering the dining guides and the maps, to all the little places around Cape May and Atlantic County, as far up as the Farley Rest Plaza on the AC Expressway. Bob's a great guy. Did some theater with him about a million years ago. Then he was in my last three Scrooges over at the other place. And then last night I had a rehearsal with the band I'm sitting in with tomorrow night. They're called 10 Eddie Drive, and they had a need for a singer this weekend. I raised my hand. I thought the one thing I learned from my very brief stay in the Navy was that Navy stands for Never Again Volunteer Yourself. I forgot that rule, raised my hand. But now I got a gig out of it. We had a pretty nice rehearsal up in Richland, New Jersey, which was a place I did not know existed until I drove there last night. Oh, look at that little sun sparkle we got going across the screen there. Look at that. I'm artful. See how artful I am with the sun right over here glaring off the top here. Anyway, good group of guys. Dave, Joe, and Mark. I think that's the names of the guys. It was sort of a, hey, how you doing? All right, let's go. And we banged through about 25, 30 songs last night. Some stuff that's sort of not in my wheelhouse, but hey, it's their set list, it's their gig, so I'm going to do my best. Lots of sort of modern stuff. Bruno Mars, that Cake by the Ocean. I think that band's called DNCE. What's another one? Just stuff that you don't normally associate with Terry O'Brien because it's not Billy Joel or Beatles. And we're playing exactly 2 Beatles songs and 0 Billy Joel songs, but I think I'll recover. Anyway, we'll be at the Deck in Wildwood tomorrow night. That's 9:30. Tonight, of course, is karaoke night, as it is Friday. Look, it's been picking up over there at Ye Old Rio Station. Bunch of good singers been out the last few weeks. Got to see my boy Ryan Sinclair of the U.S. Coast Guard. He's the one, if you read my column this week, he has the Take Chances line of apparel. He brought me a really cool hat, which I can show you in just a minute because it's in the car. Ryan and I go back to my early days of karaoke at the Rio Station when the Rio used to get filled literally wall to wall by coasties, as they're known as. This is the hat. Nice black hat with the TC Take Chances logo. So they call it a dad fit. And I must be a dad because it took me 15 minutes to figure out how to make it fit my head. There you go. There's a nice shot of it. So check out their website. They have mostly hats, I think, at this point. But I think they're getting like snowboards and it's sort of a alternative sports kind of apparel place. But the hats are really great, and I have one there. So there's that. And then Sunday, we're heading up the road to get the boys some prom tuxedos. My 2 oldest are going to their prom this year. Owen, the junior, Jackson, the freshman. Both have wonderful young dates. So looking forward to that. Sending my boys off to become young men. Just look at. It's allergy. I think I'm allergic to our cats. Has been a big factor in my puffy face. Not my diet or my eating habits or anything. It's all the cats and the pollen. So we're doing that Sunday. We'll be up the road. Probably stop by and see Mama and Pop while we're up there. It's always a nice trip. And we always go on Sunday. Usually these trips we enjoy a stop at Chick-fil-A, but we always go on Sundays now, and it's always closed. I'm in favor of that policy, but there you go. We want to be having a Chick-fil-A this weekend. And then Monday, Tim, Joyce, and I, we are TNT, Terry and Tim, TNT. See how that works? We're very clever. The TNT acoustic duo. We start our summer residency at the Beach Shack at Rusty Nail, down the south end of I know it's not actually the south end, but it's the south end of Beach Drive there in Cape May. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. We're 4:30 to 8:30, so it'll probably start really warm and end up being sort of cold. So wear shorts and a jacket, I guess I'm saying. Tim and I's first gig there, and we are then there the following Sunday, and then the following Monday, following Sunday, every other Sunday and Monday through, I think, like the end of October, mid-October, something like that. So that's all. It's been a while. I got so many irons in the fire right now. I've been neglecting all of my faithful YouTube subscribers. So I thought I would make a video now. I'll try and do a karaoke hello video. Um, that's it. I just wanted to say hello. I did finish the one Faye Kellerman book, Wendy, 12 Sharp. I enjoyed it. It was good. I'll try and do like a Sunday morning video wrapping up all the stuff I've been reading and working on. So after Monday, Tuesday, we are having one more practice recording session of the podcast project I'm trying to get off the ground. That's myself and Kevin Ebner, and we've enlisted a man named Chris Nagel. He's going to help us engineer that stuff. I'm still not sure if I'm allowed to say his name, so don't go spreading it around the internets. But he's a program director over at 94.3 WIBG, and he's sort of helping us on a volunteer basis to get our feet underneath us, walk before we can run kind of thing. And then Tuesday, we are recording our first podcast session with Roy Steinberg of Cape May Stage. It's going to be the Cape May Stage podcast, and I'll work our name in there somewhere. We discovered this week we cannot call our production company TKO Productions. That is already spoken for, it's copyrighted or something like that. So we're open to production company names. Just make sure you Google them first, make sure they don't exist. So that's it. It's been a beautiful last couple of days, and it took, I don't know, 2 warm days for everyone to start yelling about the air conditioner. So I'm not sure if you can see my windows, the AC units have been installed, but this year I only carried 2 of them because it turns out I have 3 able-bodied sons who are capable of lifting a 75-pound air conditioner from our shed to the window, and it's really amazing how these things work. The grass is getting a little tall, as you may have noticed. That's because we haven't used our lawnmower in about 5 years because we used a service, and the lawnmower sat in the shed, and I think it sat out in the weather for a year or so. But my boy Steve Church of Church Landscaping is going to come by tomorrow, and we're going to fix it, or we're going to junk it and try to find a new one that's a reasonable price. Or my neighbor said we could borrow hers until we got ours up and running. I think it needs like a car. Well, it needs mechanical, like engine-y stuff that I could write a great story about a lawnmower. I couldn't fix a lawnmower to save my life. So it also turns out I have 3 able-bodied boys in my house who are probably capable of pushing a lawnmower around. So we'll have a training session sometime next week on how to mow the lawn. I might just knock it out myself this week. We have a fairly big lawn. You haven't seen our backyard. That's pretty large. It's about a probably the first time will take 2.5 hours, but then it's about an hour and a half, hour 45 job, because we just have your standard mower. We didn't go for the riding one because we don't have anywhere to put it, and I didn't want to pay for one. And then there was something else I wanted to talk about, and I have forgotten. I'll try to remember for tonight. Couldn't have been that important, or I would not have forgotten about it. So I think that's it. Henry's inside moping because we're fighting right now. He's got girl trouble, and he wants to do a bunch of things. I don't know what my neighbor's yelling about over there. They're yelling at I think they're disciplining a dog verbally. They have a little puppy over there that likes to get out every once in a while. Anyway, that's it. We're coming up on a spring cleaning week. I got a pile of junk over there we got to get rid of. If anyone needs a broken old mini refrigerator or a broken treadmill or several broken bikes, swing by. We're going to get those over to the dump this week. That is everything. You might see the armada of bumblebees swarming around behind me. They return every spring, no matter how hard we try to get rid of them. But I always tell the boys, there's usually 3 of them. Now there's like a dozen. So I guess they had a good winter, huh? So that's all. I just wanted to say hello. It's been a minute since I put a video up. I wanted to talk about. I'm back writing my Undertow column for Exit Zero. Their 4th one came out yesterday, and there is talk of perhaps doing another short story this summer. I'm thinking of doing an adaptation of my Sherlock Holmes play, which was called Sherlock Holmes and the Werewolf of London, and I'm thinking about transforming that into a Cape May set story, because I've written 2 Sherlock Holmes plays. I think I might want to take a stab at writing a Sherlock Holmes story, but I had to find out the legalities of writing a Sherlock Holmes short story if I'm allowed to do that. Just like 6-8 chapters, something like that. But I would just transfer the most of the guts of the play and reset it in Cape May and change around with this. Instead of the Werewolf of London, maybe the Sherlock. Instead of Sherlock Holmes and the Werewolf of London, perhaps Sherlock Holmes and the Jersey Devil, something along those lines. But we'll see how it goes. I'm going to pitch that to Jack. I got to send some sample chapters over. And I'm not going to fall into the same trap I fell into years before. I will not publish chapter 1 of a short story unless the final chapter is either done or at least outlined before chapter 1. So say chapter 8 is the final chapter. I will not send chapter 1 to the publisher until chapter 8 is at least outlined and even complete. It's a hard trap to avoid when you're on a weekly publishing schedule. And in years past, when I was writing multiple short stories per year, I got myself into the trap of chapter 1 goes out, and now I have to have this wrapped up in 4 more chapters, but I wrote too many plot points in chapter 1. Some of those stories ended well, some of them did not. Anyway, we got lots of stuff coming up on the podcast network, but I'm not going to get into talking about that until I have more ink dry on the paper and more agreements in place. But I'm pretty excited about this project. It's like my pet thing for 2018, and towards the back end of this year, we're going to look into producing our first film with our production company that is now not called TKO Productions, but will be called something else, so hopefully sometime soon. So that's it. I keep saying that's it, and I'm going to leave. But anyway, I keep telling the boys that bumblebees don't have stingers and not to be alarmed. Just if you're chill, they'll be chill. Anyway, I think I'll shave tonight. It's about that time. So again, tonight is karaoke. If you want to swing by Rio Station between 9 and 12. It's been a lot of fun over there the last few weeks. Tomorrow I'm at the Deck with 10 Eddie Drive as a guest vocalist. There's a possibility that could turn into at least a part-time, maybe full-time gig, as in like 2 or 3 gigs a week over the course of the summer in Wildwood. But we'll see. If they like me and I like them, then we'll talk. If not, then I'll shake their hands, take their money, and be on my way. Sunday we're tuck shopping, but Monday is the Beach Shack at Rusty Nail. Always nice out there. Put your feet in the sand. They have the fire pit if it gets a little bit chilly at night. And the food over there, of course, is outstanding. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, podcast stuff. And I haven't thought ahead to Thursday yet. So please, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit the little bell for notifications. Feel free to share on the Facebook or amongst your Facebook friends who might enjoy this silly little channel. This channel will also be eventually tied into the podcast project, but this is all stuff I'm kicking the can down the road a little bit, and I will just keep you appraised as that stuff comes along. Lots of moving parts doing podcast besides just sitting down and recording it. So I'm just hitting the tip of the iceberg on how to do this thing that I've been wanting to do for a while, and so now I'm going to do it and see what happens. As ever, for those of you who are supporting the Patreon, thank you very much. You were instrumental in allowing us to produce the first show of Downton Stabby. We were able to buy some software, some hardware, and some actual hardware that goes into the set, small set pieces, that kind of thing. And allowed me to help pay the actors out and pay the guy who built our lights and sort of designed our sound. So it's all very helpful. If you know anyone who might be interested in throwing $1 a month toward the Patreon, please feel free to suggest it to them. It all goes to supporting the arts in Cape May. So have a wonderful night. I will try to say hello again, or at least goodbye again after karaoke. But usually afterwards, they just want me out of there. Not like in a mean way. It's like, all right, come on, wrap it up. 12 o'clock, we're closed. Let's go. So that's it. Have a great night. Till next time, be good.